Hey, what is up everyone? Favorly Studios here. Welcome back to another video. And guys, today we have a review on a custom vehicle. Today we'll be taking a look at the minifig scale ATAP walker designed by Dave Customs. He's done many other vehicles, especially in the Republic style, whether it be from the ATTE or the Republic gunship. He has done a phenomenal job representing a lot of awesome clone vehicles in LEGO. And of course, this being one of his designs, he again knocks it out of the park. For those of you who are curious, I ended up building this up for the current build series I am working on, which is building Kashyyyk. You guys see this throughout the actual movie, or at least in the couple scenes that you see on Kashyyyk. And I, of course, wanted to build one after I saw that he had designed it and after he kind of released pictures or images, and basically after he released the instructions, I knew exactly what I wanted to build and what I wanted to have for this mock. So, of course, with that being said, once the instructions were released, I did order all the parts to build this phenomenal vehicle that is the ATAP. Now, for those of you who are wanting to pick up these instructions for yourself or possibly build it for yourself, the link for Brickvualt.toys is going to be in the description, so you can check it out themselves. Again, it's definitely worth it. Again, this is about the size of a UCS set, so it is going to be a bit expensive. But honestly, if you love the Clone Wars and you love all kind of Republic or clone vehicles, I highly recommend this. The price for this big walker, of course, is going to be a little high because of the fact that it is minifig scale. It is directly scaled to that minifigure right there. And it is going to be costing you around $280. Again, that price may vary whether from store to store. So depending on how much you actually spend or how many parts you buy from a certain store, it might end up being a little over $280. Or especially if you can find a good deal, you can probably get it less than $280. It also helps, especially if you go through your actual part collection. You could probably save a little bit. I think I had a little over half of the parts in my own collection, so that helped take out a big chunk of that change. But again, $280, just that alone, honestly, I feel like it is worth it, especially since, you know, a regular UCS set goes for around $200, or even anything bigger might be $300 or $350. So honestly, I feel like this is well worth the money because the overall design, the look of it, and the overall like aesthetic, especially from mock makers like myself, it's going to be really cool to utilize this in my mock. So continuing on, of course, the part count for this vehicle is going to be roughly 2,227. That is a lot of parts, of course, utilized in this build. As you can see, all these parts go from the actual aesthetic, from the paneling to all the legs and to all the technique that is holding up those legs. So with that being said, this is of course going to be a harder review to actually do because of the fact that I do not want to knock this vehicle over because I've done it like twice. That is the only issue I have with this vehicle. Now, that could just be my variant because it could just be certain parts that I use for this. But honestly, I don't want to knock this over because I've had a lot of experience with walkers toppling over on me. So with that being said, I'm going to enjoy reviewing this wonderful vehicle for you guys right now. Okay guys, so actually getting into the review, I had to get off the actual tripod because of the fact that, you know, with this tall of a model and wanting to get all the different angles, I of course had to get it off the tripod. But honestly, this thing looks fantastic. Like I said, all the different angles, all the different textures, all the different features in this mock, it's just really awesome in my opinion. Again, this is of course minifig scale, like I mentioned at the beginning, so it is directly scaled to a minifigure, which is honestly really awesome whenever a mock or a model is minifig scale. And honestly, it's super cool seeing this is a standard minifigure right there. You got the Scout Trooper, and he's barely tall enough to that end of the foot. So honestly, that's really awesome in my opinion. It's always awesome to see some designer to make a minifig scale vehicle. But honestly, like, the overall aesthetic again for this thing is just fantastic. Now, of course, this does have a couple features, including the top turret or the top gun does spin 360 degrees. as well as it does lift up and down. So it is really awesome in my opinion, because you can kind of like maneuver it however direction you want. You can lift it up, lift it down, side to side, so you can get it in some really cool poses. And of course it can fit another trooper right here. I have a standard scout, but honestly, like, the detail on this cannon is also really cool. That gives you that nice little wiring right there, the overall barrel, and of course you got the just nice detail that goes over this. I also like the underside because it kind of gives it that more real look and not really Lego aesthetic, I guess you could say. Like I was saying, the overall view of this is really nice because you got these really nice angles that give it the whole, it doesn't look all Lego and looks kind of more like a realistic vehicle, especially when you get to the back end of this. And overall, just gives that really nice view. A couple more features, of course, is the little turret at the bottom. You can move it side to side. Again, you can blast some droids out with that. Of course, it's super nice. You got the three nice little turrets. You got the big blaster, you got the turret on top, and of course the little one on the bottom. Another feature right here, of course, is going to be the little step ladder, or I guess the little hatch. It is the same exact on the opposite side. Basically just open up and you can see inside, and basically that's like a little hatch you can get inside for the clones, or whoever is getting inside one of these walkers. Overall, a really cool little thing. Again, it's the same exact thing on the opposite side. Another thing is, of course, this top does come off. It doesn't pop off. It doesn't sit on any click onto anything. It literally just sits on top, and gravity holds it in place. Of course, you do have an interior. You've got two clone troopers right here. I felt that it was necessary to, of course, utilize the two gunner phase 2 troopers in this, vehicle, of course, going along with the Kashyyyk clones. But overall, the interior is really nice. You got the little missiles in the bottom, basically, that can utilize for the big cannon. You've got an interior right here. You've got little cockpit seats, which honestly I think look really good. I really like the seats in here, and of course you do have little consoles right there. And the idea is you can fit on this little hologram table the Order 66 hologram. So that'd be pretty cool. I do have one of them. I just can't remember where I ended up putting them. But that is, of course, the interior. Again, this thing just kind of sits on top of that and sits in place and, looks nice. Last but not least, of course, this is the back of the model. Again, these overall designs and sleek texture on it looks really, really nice. You got those nice little vents. What is supposed to go here is a little vent right here. It's got those little antenna pieces that's supposed to fit in these on the cylinder piece, but honestly I didn't end up having them, and I have yet to order the pieces. I do plan on, of course, buying those parts because they're pretty cheap. I just have yet to do so. But honestly, like, the overall back viewing of this thing looks really cool, and yeah, I also like this little handle in the back. It just ends up giving a nice aesthetic right behind the cannon. Okay guys, so before I end out the video, I did want to, of course, show you guys kind of a to scale, or at least comparison to other vehicles that are going to be alongside this wonderful walker. And so, of course, the best I can do is, of course, showcase it with the Republic gunship that will be right next to it. Again, these vehicles are both minifig scale, so seeing them right next to each other is really awesome. Again, just kind of scaling it with other vehicles. I do, of course, have next, move that off to the side, we, of course, have the Snail CIS tank droid that will be right alongside it on the beach. Again, the scaling just looks really cool. It's actually kind of funny because this walker looks like you can literally stomp on that snail. So, I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, so that is the scaling. And last but not least, of course, scaling next to the AT-AP walker set. So honestly, you can see definitely the size difference from Lego's design to Dave's design. It's actually really cool seeing like the two differences and seeing how, how Lego did it, and of course how a custom builder did it. The overall appearance looks the same, but there are some definitely differences, including in the cannon, large cannons, the overall size of this thing. And honestly, I think it's just super cool and kind of funny how this thing is like puny next to this thing. So with that being said, I do hope you all enjoyed today's review. If you did, definitely show some love by smashing that like button, as well as if you're not new to this channel, definitely subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of these custom vehicle reviews. And like I said, all links in the description will be provided. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. I'll catch you stud stackers in the next video. Bye-bye.